ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba utuwajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umeskabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The business of the Senate has officially commenced this afternoon, with the Speaker presiding over the House business this afternoon. But we have a small quorum hitch. We have a deficit of members are required to be in the chamber upon the commencement of business. But as we await for that quorum to be attained, among the expectations this afternoon is that the Speaker will be delivering a message from His Excellency the President on the nomination of Mr. Pius Angasa for the appointment as a member of the Board of Directors of Central Bank of Kenya, CBK. The Senate Leader of the Majority Party will be tabling the annual report of the Office of the Control of Budget for the financial year 2023-2025. But on standing orders 53 subsection 1, a number of senators are set to seek for statements. Senator Raphael Chimera will be seeking a statement from the Standing Committee on Energy regarding the quality and durability of solar energy products sold to residents of Kwale County. He is not the only senator who will be seeking a statement pursuant to Standing Orders number 53 subsection 1, as the senator for Marsabit County also features in that provision, and he is set to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology regarding the sharing of subscriber data held by the telecommunication service providers with security agencies in Kenya. The senator for Nairobi, his statement will be directed to the Standing Committee on Education.
Business. Clerk, kindly call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Now, honorable senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 47-1, I have received the following message from His Excellency the President on the nomination of Mr. Pius Angasa for appointment as a member of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya for consideration by Parliament. The message was transmitted to the Senate via the letter reference EOP/CAB.26/4A, Volume 6/171, dated the 21st of July 2025, by the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service, Mr. Felix K. Kosgei, EJH. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now report the message. You are most graciously notified that His Excellency the President has, in exercise of the constitutional prerogative vested in the head of state and government, made a nomination to the membership of the Central Bank of Kenya. This presidential action is pursuant to Section 11.2 of the Central Bank of Kenya Act, Cap 491, Laws of Kenya, which states as follows. The chairperson and directors shall be appointed by the President with the approval of Parliament. In that regard, and in accordance with Section 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F of the laws of Kenya, kindly be pleased to receive the nomination of Mr. Pius Angasa for appointment as a member of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya for consideration by Parliament. To facilitate the consideration and approval processes of the August House, we are pleased to submit Certificate of Presidential Nomination number 8 of 2025, along with the curricula vitae and testimonials of the nominee. In light of the Central Bank of Kenya's crucial role in formulating and implementing monetary policy to achieve and maintain price stability, Parliament is kindly requested to prioritize the consideration of the nominee. Now, Honourable Senators, the period on the matter that is now before Parliament starts running upon the Speakers of the Houses of Parliament, committing the name of the nominee to the relevant committees in the Senate and in the National Assembly. Standing Order 771 of the Senate, Standing Orders provides that upon receipt of a notification of nomination for appointment to a public office under the Constitution or any other legislation which requires approval by the Senate, the nomination shall stand committed to the relevant standing committee for consideration. This being the case, the message from His Excellency the President, together with the CV and testimonials of the nominee, stands committed to the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget for approval hearing. The committee will hold the approval hearing jointly with the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning of the National Assembly in accordance with the provisions of Central Bank of Kenya Act, the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, and the Standing Orders of the Houses of Parliament. Part 26 Joint Committees of Parliament of the Senate Standing Orders and the corresponding part of the National Assembly Standing Orders shall apply during the approval hearing. I direct the committees do expeditiously consider this matter and to table a report thereon. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 24th July 2025, the annual report of the Office of the Controller of Budget, COB, for the financial year 2023-2024. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Next order. You see, after this statement, sir, this is a vote by voice. And then the next is
Order number 6,
okay.
notices of motion.
To rearrange.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
If need be, maybe you can get statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. The Honorable Senator for Nairobi City County, Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I have two statements. I request that I take both of them at once. First, Honorable Speaker, on security situation inside the Kenyatta National Hospital and other public health facilities. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the security situation inside Kenyatta National Hospital in July, both occurring within the same ward. These tragic incidents raise grave concerns about the adequacy of the security protocols at KN and other public health institutions. They also expose broader safety gaps that put both patients and medical personnel at risk and raise a disturbing possibility that serial criminals may be operating from within public spaces. In that statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the number and the nature of deployment of security personnel across all the wards and sections of KNH, including whether this deployment is adequate. Number 2, the current number of patients who have been discharged but remain at KNH the reason for their continued detention and duration of their stay. Thirdly, the existing security protocols in public hospitals concerning discharged patients who remain within the facilities, including the Ministry of Health's plan in addressing the continued detention of patients due to unpaid medical bills. My second statement, Honorable Speaker, is on the increase in university accommodation fees. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the sharp increase in the university hostel accommodations fees across public universities over the past 4 years. Mr. Speaker, public universities in Kenya have traditionally offered affordable accommodation to students, particularly those from low-income backgrounds. However, in recent years, the cost of on-campus accommodation has risen significantly, placing a heavy financial burden on students and their families. This increase has had a far-reaching implications, particularly on vulnerable students who are now forced to seek cheaper, often unsafe housing alternatives outside the university premises. Female students in particular, Mr. Speaker, are disproportionately affected and exposed to heightened risks in insecure neighborhoods. This situation undermines not only the right to education, but also the right to dignity and safety for learners. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the justification behind the increase in accommodation fees in public universities, especially in light of the prevailing economic hardships and the need to ensure affordability and safety for all students. Secondly, the current state of infrastructure in university hostels, including the level of repair and maintenance of existing accommodation facilities. Third, an analysis of the current student populations compared to the available on-campus accommodation spaces and the plans, if any, that exist to expand and upgrade student housing in public universities. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, whether the Higher Education Loans Board intends to revise or enhance student loan disbursements to better support students in meeting essential needs such as accommodation, food, and transportation in view of these increases. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Chute, Senator from Marsabit County.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I have a request for a statement on the sharing of subscriber data between telecommunication providers and security agencies. So, Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the protocols and safeguards governing the sharing of subscriber data between communication services and security agencies in Kenya. In the statement, the committee should, 1, clarify the legal procedural frameworks that guide how and when telecom operators share subscriber data with security agencies, including the role of court orders or statutory authorization. Number 2, confirm whether the Office of Data Protection Commissioners has received complaint or undertaken investigations into alleged misuse of such data and provide the status of outcomes. Number 3, explain the oversight roles of the Communication Authority and security agencies in ensuring lawful access and use of subscriber data, including any enforcement actions taken in the last 5 years. Number 4, indicate the number of data access requests submitted by security agencies between the year 2020 and 2025. How many were approved and how many were supported by valid court orders? And finally, Honorable Speaker, outline existing safeguards to protect subscriber data from unauthorized access, misuse, or violation of privacy rights, particularly in light of increased surveillance technology. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
The Senator for Kisii County, the Honorable Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transport and Housing regarding the Kenya National Highways Authority, KENHA, recent announcement on the expansion of Kiambu Road into a 4-lane highway and the controversial provision that only Chinese contractors or consortia led by Chinese firms are eligible to apply for these contracts. Mr. Speaker, in its public advertisement, KENHA invited bids for the Kiambu Road expansion project, but included an explicit requirement restricting eligibility to Chinese contractors or firms led by Chinese entities. Mr. Speaker, this condition raises serious concerns about the fairness, inclusivity, legality of this procurement process, particularly in view of our constitutional principles on competition, non-discrimination, and value for money in public procurement. In that statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following. Explain the rationale behind KENHA's decision to limit eligibility for this project to Chinese contractors only, or a consortium led by Chinese firms. Number two, for the committee to clarify whether this requirement aligns with the Kenya procurement laws, including the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, and whether it complies with any applicable bilateral or multilateral funding agreements. Number three, Mr. Speaker, the committee should state whether Kenyan contractors or joint ventures involving Kenyan participation were considered in the development of these eligibility criteria. Number four, the committee to provide information on the source of financing for the Kiambu Road expansion project, any donor funds if necessary, and indicate whether the funding terms specifically required the exclusive participation of Chinese enterprises. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I would wish that the committee recommend measures to ensure that future infrastructure projects promote fair competition, enhance local participation, and uphold transparency and accountability in procurement processes as per our Kenyan Constitution 2010. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Raphael Chimera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a request for a statement on the quality and durability of solar energy products sold to residents of Kwale County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Energy on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the quality and durability of solar energy products such as Solar Panda, Delight, sold to residents of Kwale County. Mr. Speaker, sir, residents in many rural parts of Kwale County lack access to grid electricity and have to rely on solar-powered lamps supplied by solar energy solution providers for some of the energy needs. However, the residents have expressed concern that these lamps often become faulty after a short period, and that due to lack of repair services, they are forced to purchase other units. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, Mr. Speaker, whether there are government-set technical standards or certification requirements for solar energy products sold in Kenya aimed at ensuring safety, proper performance, and longevity. Number two, whether there are mechanisms in place to monitor the performance of the products after sale and to ensure adequate after-sale support, including provision of spare parts and repair services by respective suppliers. Number three, Mr. Speaker, the names of all companies licensed to distribute solar energy products in Kwale County and obtain information on the technical assessment of the quality and longevity of their respective products. Number four, Mr. Speaker, whether each of the companies' providers repair and offer after-sales services, and if not, obtain the reasons for the same, as well as the steps being taken to remedy the situation. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the steps the national government is taking to connect all undeserved areas in Kwale County to the national electricity grid or alternative reliable off-grid energy systems to reduce reliance on private energy solutions. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, the Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, I hereby present the business of the Senate for the week commencing 29th July 2025. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed to the statement, allow me to take this opportunity to laud honorable senators for ensuring the passage of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2025, and the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2025. During this sitting that was held on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025, and the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill number 2, Senate Bills number 8, that was passed on the 23rd of July 2025. These bills are crucial financial instruments that have an implication on the operations of the counties. I urge that this spirit continues in order to prosecute business before the Senate in a timely manner. However, this is not the end on these bills. I undertake to engage the leadership of the National Assembly to ensure expeditious consideration of bills. Mr. Speaker, as of now, this is the status of legislative business. 1, 55 bills, of which 37 are at the second reading stage and 18 are at the committee of the whole stage, are pending for consideration. 2, 31 motions are pending conclusion. 3, 28 petitions are pending conclusion by respective committees, out of which 19 are due for reporting. And fourthly, 505 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 are under consideration by the respective standing committees. Honorable Senators will observe that business listed on orders number 12, 13, 14, and 15 are motions on reports on petitions, which are subject to time pursuant to Standing Order number 238. I urge the respective movers of those motions to remain in the chamber to prosecute that business. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Tuesday, 29th July 2025, the Senate Business Committee will meet to consider the business for the week. The tentative business for that day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as business indicated on the notice paper. The tentative business for the morning sitting on Wednesday, 30th July 2025 will include questions to Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions scheduled include the following. Question 84 to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, development by Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, EGH, MP. 2. Questions number 13 and number 18 to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration by Senator James Morango, MP. Question number 26 to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration by Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale, CBS, MP. Question number 28, 29, and 80 to the Cabinet Secretary for the Interior and National Administration by Senator Professor Tom Ojenda, Senior Counsel MP. Question number 41 to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration by Senator Daniel Mazo, EBS MP. Question number 44 on the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration by Senator Edwin Spooner, CBS MP. Question number 49 to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration by Senator Shakil Abdallah, MP. Question number 51 to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, National Administration by Senator Catherine Muma, MP. Question number 54, 56, and 59 to the same Secretary by Senator James Lomenen, MP. Question number 62 to the same Cabinet Secretary by Senator Joyce Korir, CBS MP. Question number 72 to the same Secretary by Senator Kaduri Murungi, MGH MP. And question number 94 to the same Secretary by Senator Justice Retired Stuart Madayo, EGH MP. Mr. Speaker, the tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 30th July 2025 will include business not concluded from Tuesday's order paper and the following businesses. A, bills that are at the second reading stage. The county government's state officers removal from office procedure bill, the county government's Senate bills number 39 of 2024, and the street naming and property addressing systems bill, Senate bills number 43 of 2024. B, bills that are at the committee of the whole, namely 1, the early childhood education bill, the local content bill, the street vendors bill, the county library services bill. The labor migration management bill, the sports bill, the public fundraising appeals bill, the heritage museums bill, the environment laws bill, the statutory instruments bill, the county government's elections laws bill, the sports amendment bill, Senate bill number 45 of 2004. And then C, motions. 1, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the state of markets in Vihiga and Bungoma counties arising from a statement sought by Senators G. Osotsi, MP, and David Wakoli, MP. 2, progress report of the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration on an inquiry into the diversity and inclusivity in the staff composition of state agencies in Kenya. And 3, report of the Standing Committee on Energy on the county oversight and networking engagements in Wajir County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the projected business for Thursday, 1st July 2025 will include business not concluded for Wednesday's order papers and any other business scheduled by the certain business committee. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I thank you and do hereby lay this statement on the table of the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for 20 minutes. If you get the floor, kindly take not more than 2 minutes to contribute. Senator Fernandez, Senator Chirake.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I want to support the statement by Senator for Nairobi on the issue of accommodation among our students, Mr. Speaker. For some of us who have been to university, you can imagine the deplorable. Mr. Speaker, even the slums looks better than most of the hostels that we are seeing in most of these universities, Mr. Speaker, and even the exorbitant prices of over 40,000, yet there is no substantive work that has been done, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe most of our universities, you still find kunguni, or what is it called in English, bedbugs, Mr. Speaker? Our comrades are being eaten by bedbugs, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe? And this is the hub of serious knowledge engagement and discourse, Mr. Speaker. It can confuse, the bedbugs are confusing and making the sleep of comrades restless, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we used to have a say that when the help used to come, you eat like a king. You eat the chicken, then you eat what the chicken eats, and then you eat the chicken itself, Mr. Speaker. So it's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal that under the affordable housing program, the government must include the university hostels, Mr. Speaker, to make life bearable for the comrades, Mr. Speaker. I felt very bad that they were demonstrating over basic. In fact, we should be discussing in our universities, Mr. Speaker, about the innovation and scientific issues. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with Senator Onyonga on the issue of Chinese, Mr. Speaker. I had a legislative proposal that contracts above 1 billion, below 1 billion, Mr. Speaker, should exclusively belong to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe Chinese and other nationals are doing contracts of 300 million, 200 million? What will happen to our local contractors, Mr. Speaker? I want to challenge Finance and Budget Committee to approve my legislative proposal that 1 billion and below should exclusively belong to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, and I support all these statements. I thank you, Speaker, sir.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the statement by Senator Sifuna on the matter of the cases of killings happening at Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, it is a very, very sad situation that the biggest teaching and referral hospital in Kenya, where patients are supposed to feel safe and secure, they are now living under fear because they don't know who is the next to be attacked within the facility. The Speaker, something needs to be done, and be done very, very quick to salvage the image of that institution. The Speaker talking about safety. The Speaker, even in our own precincts in Parliament, the Speaker, I had an incident this afternoon. I was sitting having lunch with a colleague, and somebody walks to us and says to me that, "You look familiar. Are you a member of some funny organization that he mentioned? I don't know which one." I said, "I'm not." And he says, "I'm sorry. I thought you were the one." And he goes, Mr. Speaker, we also need to ensure that members within the precincts of Parliament are also safe. We are having a lot of people accessing the precincts of Parliament, which is okay, Mr. Speaker, but it should be done in a way that we are also safe and secure. We don't want a situation like the ones happening at Kenyatta National Hospital to happen within the precincts of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, that should be taken very, very seriously. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Bone.
The issue raised by the Senator of Nairobi on the cost of accommodation at the university is very serious. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would like that the committee goes further and looks into the new funding model. Mr. Speaker, the new funding model, when universities heard that that model has been brought into effect, they responded by raising the fees. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, just to bring to the attention of the House. I've been pursuing this disaster, and I've found that faculties have increased school fees by as high as 138% in the Faculty of Engineering, 105% in the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, as high as 81% in the Faculty of Medicine, and so on and so forth. Mr. Speaker, the net effect is that the cost of university of education, whereas the old model was allowing parents to pay that small fee, but with this increment, even with the government paying the higher fee, using the means of testing, children are not able to pay. We have to look at it critically and ask ourselves, do we want this to be a country of people who come from the wash background, or do we want a country that will have young professionals like Eddie, good education, a guy who may...
Senator Kavindu. Senator Kavindu.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii nichangie kwenye statement hizi, and especially hii imeletwa na Sifuna, seneta wa Nairobi, kuhusu usalama wa wagonjwa pale Kenyatta National Hospital. Bwana Spika, inahuzunisha sana kwa sababu mgonjwa utoka nyumbani aende hospitalini, atibiwe, apone, aregee nyumbani akiwa mzima. Lakini Bwana Spika, ni ajabu ya kwamba hata sasa hivi wagonjwa wale wako pale hospitalini wakikumbuka ya kwamba wawili wamechinjwa pale kama ng'ombe, kama mbuzi, mtu anakatwa shingo kabisa mpaka kufa na ako hospitalini, hata kupona kwao itakuwa si rahisi sana, kwa sababu wako na hofu ya kwamba wao ndio watachinjwa next. Bwana Spika, tuko na security wengi sana, na sioni ni kwa nini hata hii ministry ya health hawawezi kuitisha security wa kutosha kukaa pale ili kulinda usalama wa wagonjwa. Na hii inamaanisha kwamba hata sisi tukitembea huku nje na kila mahali pengine hakuna usalama kwa sababu ya hao watu ambao ni waovu. Na pia hii ya kwamba Bwana Spika, wagonjwa wanapona, wanakaa pale hospitalini bila kuwa discharged. Wengine wao wanasemekana wana kwao. Hakuna mtu ambaye hana kwao. Na pia serikali inatakana iangalie watu kama wale, iwajengee homes za kuweza kupelekwa na kukaa pale kama nyumbani. Na wale ambao hawaondoke hospitalini kwa sababu ya kukosa
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise in support of the statement by Senator Onyonka. Honorable Speaker, he brought up some very important issues. The issue is not a problem in Kiambu only, the road on Kiambu. It is in the country. The problem we are faced with is Chinese companies are being given contracts. You can find Chinese traders doing some work, doing in markets like Chuka, Meru, Marsabit, Chinese. And Honorable Speaker, there is an issue brought by Cherkey. He says anything above, anything below 1 billion should be done by locals. Honorable Speaker, the companies that are working in Kenya today on roads and building are mainly Chinese. And if you look at those companies, Kenyan companies who are working in Kenya, have got pending bills to the tune of, in the counties, about 156 billion. Nationally, 426 billion. Most of these monies are supposed to be paid to local contractors. The Chinese contractors can afford to wait for the monies because they are being financed by the government. What about the local contractors? They are suffering. Honorable Speaker, the other days there was riot in Kenya. The shops were looted. People are complaining about shops that are looted. Unfortunately, that is a problem, yes. But after a few days, the insurance compensated them. Honorable Speaker, local contractors are being given jobs and they are not being paid. There is no insurance that will pay for monies that are supposed to be paid by the government. So, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The point that I wanted to contribute to is the issue that the question that has been asked about why the universities are increasing university accommodation fees. Mr. Speaker, it is true that we in the opposition sometimes just talk about the problem. So today I want to give a solution to the government. All these affordable housing units which the government is doing, which nobody wants, why can't the government do hostels in all our universities in the Republic of Kenya? Because if you do these hostels, we know the rent is not going to be more than 5,000 per month. And these hostels will pay for themselves because the parents are already paying anyway. Why are we building houses in places like when I went to Senator Methu's constituency in Nyandarua, in some place where you find there are trees and cows and there were no people there at all? Can we please build hostels for our universities and even our secondary schools, because the government can recover the money? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Murgo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also air my views. I support the statement made by the Senator of Nairobi about increase of hostel fees in our universities. Mr. Speaker, a member has just said that this will mean that the students of the well-to-do, the students of or children of well-to-do and children of the people that are able to pay will be the ones that will be homed in those hostels. And therefore, children of poor people, commoners, will not be accommodated in the hostels in our universities. And therefore, that will drive children of the common mwananchi into places that are not desirable and running into many situations in streets that are not likable. And therefore, the children of the commoners will suffer and probably drop out of universities because their parents cannot afford. And so this is heading the wrong way. Thank you very much.
Now, honorable senators, before I call the next member to speak, allow me to make this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the gallery this afternoon of visiting students and leaders, student leaders and members of the Young Diplomats Forum from the United States International University, Africa. The delegation comprises 40 student leaders, including the members of the student government, electoral college and cabinet, as well as participants of the Young Diplomat Forum. The delegation is in the Senate for mentorship sessions with the Senate directorates. Honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Nairobi City County under 1 minute to extend the word of welcome.
Thank you, Speaker. I have
Senator for Nairobi, just take your seat. What is your point of clarification, Deputy Speaker?
Speaker, you notice the tradition of the House. When you read such a communication, senators should applaud that delegation. I was communicating to my brother here that senators are not running how the House behaves so some of them are very senior members here. Nobody is stamping. It's only me who did it, Honorable Speaker. I'm very happy indeed. Very, very happy. Because that is the tradition of Parliament.
You've made your point clear.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for passing that information to your colleagues. The Senator for Nairobi City County, you may proceed.
Thank you, Senator. Speaker, I want to alert the Senator from Meru that there is another tradition that when delegations come to visit us, we must buy them lunch. And now that you have insisted on the traditions of this house, the students from the USIU must know that lunch today will be from the Senator from Meru. Honorable Speaker, yes. And if he tries to feed you any brown beans, tell him in Nairobi only recognize KFC. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the House to welcome the student leaders from USIU. Indeed, I have many friends from USIU, this institution. My liaison officer, Karen, is one of those people who has maintained close relationships with this university. Honorable Speaker, it has produced some very good young people. My own brother went to USIU. It is one of those institutions that has excelled, exemplified itself in putting out young people who are able to take this country forward in terms of their contribution. We are discussing a very important issue about student accommodation in public universities. At least for you, Honorable Speaker, there has been a lot of investment from private funds to put up accommodation, student accommodation, especially at these private universities. You know about Kwetu hostels, you know about Nyumbani and the others. So we want the same standards to be maintained for your colleagues or counterparts in the public universities, and we are hoping that they will get an equal opportunity at education that all of us got to enable us to be able to be here. So I am available for you after this session. If the Speaker allows it, I will come back there with the Senator from Meru to undertake that tradition that we have talked about here. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish them a fruitful visit.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante mstahiki Speaker. Asante mstahiki Speaker. Mstahiki Speaker, kwanza nataka kumpatia kongole mwandishi mkuu wa chama cha ODM ndugu yangu Sifuna na vile vile Senator.
What is the point of order, Senator for Homa Bay?
Mr. Speaker, the 10 years I've been in this house, I've never seen money change hands so openly, so brazenly on the floor of this house. Mr. Speaker, this house is degenerating into that market where Jesus came in and whipped everybody and threw them out. Mr. Speaker, could you declare the Deputy Speaker to be completely out of order for flashing money, crossing, coming across the aisle, handing over money to Senator Sifuna? We do not know for what reason he's handing over the money. Maybe he's bribing Sifuna to go and burn the house again tonight on TV. Mr. Speaker, could you just declare that habit completely out of order? We cannot be doing money exchange in this house. We cannot be doing those things that Senator Dulo was calling Sokohuru in this house. It is completely demeaning and unbecoming, Mr. Speaker, for us to be flashing and doing commercial transactions in this very hallowed chamber.
Senator for Homa Bay, unfortunately, the Speaker did not see it. And for me to rule on that matter, it requires evidence. And you know, if you need to require evidence, you know the route we'll take. We'll have to put the Deputy Speaker under oath so that he can also defend himself. A route that is not that desirable. So let's leave the matter where it is. Proceed, Senator Mazayo.
Asante mstahiki Speaker. Mstahiki Speaker, kwanza nataka kumpatia kongole ndugu yangu Sifuna kwa sababu ya kuleta hii taarifa ambayo inahusikana na mambo ya ulinzi ndani ya Kenyatta National Hospital. Bwana Speaker, kama kuna hospitali kubwa ndani ya Kenya ambao kila Mkenya anaitegemea hata akiwa mgonjwa katika kama ni kule tunaita Makadara ambao ni Coast General Hospital, ama akiwa mgonjwa huko akiwa Kisumu, ama akiwa Northeastern, sote tunategemea hii Kenyatta National Hospital kama hospitali ambao iko na madaktari wa kudumu, wale madaktari ambao wanajua kila kitu, ambao wanaweza kutibu huyo mgonjwa. Leo hii ni jambo la kusikitisha kwamba mtu anaweza kukatwa kama kuku, kichwa kinakatwa, kinatolewa, na alafu huyo mtu aliyefanya namna hiyo hawezi kushikwa akapelekwa kotini, ama akashikwa ama akaonekana na kila mtu. Paka hivi juzi wameshika mtu ambaye hatujui kama ni yeye ama si yeye. Huyo mtu ameshakataa hiyo maneno, akasema si yeye. Sasa tunauliza kitu kimoja. Tunataka Bwana Spika, tunataka serikali jambo kama hili, na hii komiti ambayo itapewa hii taarifa ili iweze kuchukua hatua na kuangalia ni nini. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kusikitisha hivi sasa tukisema ya kwamba hakuna utetezi wa aina yoyote kwa wagonjwa ndani ya Kenyatta National Hospital. Nataka hatua ichukuliwe haraka iwezekanavyo, ili wale wagonjwa yoyote atakaye kwenda pale awe ana uhakika wa maisha yake na ugonjwa wake atatibiwa kisawasawa na atapona na atarudi nyumbani. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on the statement by Senator Jute on sharing of data between telecommunication operators and the security system. Honorable Speaker, we passed a law 2019, the Data Protection Act, and it's very clear that if the telcos have to share any data, they have to get access either by consent by the concerned persons or through a court order, Honorable Speaker. So this is a very important statement so that we know what has been happening. So that, because, you know, we are exposed. We don't want to be exposed, and there is a law that is already protecting us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the second statement I wanted to comment on is the one by Senator Onyonga, Honorable Speaker, that between Mudaika and Kiambu, they want to do a dual carriage, and it is the tender is restricted only to Chinese. Honorable Speaker, about 2020 or so, we passed a law both in this House and National Assembly that all contracts or tenders that are below 1 billion should be reserved for the locals. But even if it is above 1 billion, it is open. You don't restrict to foreigners, Honorable Speaker. This is something that we need to find out how else can our contractors grow if we continue giving all big contracts to foreigners, Honorable Speaker. We need to grow our own homegrown. Safaricom is a very huge company that's owned locally by Kenyans. They need to invest. An entity, pension funds like Lab Fund, Lab Trust, even NSSF, they should be doing these tenders instead of giving to foreigners, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to contribute to this request for statement that was placed by Senator Onyonka. The debate in this House might give the impression that we are xenophobic and we are against Chinese investment and Chinese contractors. That should not be the impression. I think the key concern is ring-fencing critical infrastructure projects that can be done by locals. Mr. Speaker, we must promote local contractors, we must promote local industry, because the problem with contractors coming from certain jurisdictions is that they are the ones who start with a feasibility study. They do a feasibility study and come and tell us that this can be done. They go ahead and do the design. They go ahead and do the financing. They go ahead and get their companies to do the implementation. And all the materials also come from those nationalities. That is not the way of building an economy. We need to build roads. We need to build railways. But the raw material must come from this country. The labor element should come from this country. Mr. Speaker, it is sad if for a road project, you find that the insurance for products is being underwritten in foreign countries. The financing and interest and the value that comes out of it comes from foreign countries. Mr. Speaker, I agree with Kenya's political position on geopolitics, that we face neither east nor west. We face forward, but we need to be careful about being boxed and about ring-fencing jobs and contracts that can be done by locals. And I hope that the committee will expand their inquiry beyond China and look at arrangements with the Americans, arrangements with the British, particularly when it comes to military procurement and military supplies. Mr. Speaker, we must believe in this country and we must support our local entrepreneurs and industry. Thank you.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I want to support, contribute to the statement by Honourable Sifuna. Honourable Speaker, I think increasing the cost or the living of or rents for the students is actually going to be very dangerous, and it's going. You know, universities, all people converge from different corners of this country, and most of the students cannot even afford housing. And many of them now will end up into, living into formal settlements, and they adapt a lot of funny characters. So most of them, because they are not even exposed so much to life in Nairobi, and therefore many will be now prejudiced even their life. You see, many ladies are now, young ladies are being killed in the hostels, fine hostels and hotels and lodges. So I think increasing the rents, the hostels' money is not proper. And I think it's advisable that currently we have so many low-cost houses being built. The university now should be given some of these houses so that they can be able to provide a subsidized accommodation to the university students. Also, I want to support the settlement of Honorable Chute. Honorable Speaker, these days we have what we call data communication authority, and therefore we need to protect the data of all communication that has been done by the people. I think we need this also. It's constitutional right to have privacy for all the data that we have. These days, you see, many people have been kidnapped and in the funny places, and they've been taken all corners of the world, of the country, and therefore, as a result of that, we need our data to be protected. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Endokech, Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statements, and I'd like to contribute to the two statements by Senator Sifuna. Honourable Speaker, the national government is in charge of very few, less than 10 facilities. It is so disturbing that Kenyatta National Hospital will be in the state in which it is, and that it will be that unsafe that people would be murdered in that institution. Mr. Speaker, even beyond that, the physical state of the Kenyatta National Hospital is actually, in some instances, even dangerous to patients who are in that hospital. Mr. Speaker, I have forwarded one of the videos taken by a patient from that hospital to the Forum of Senators to just see the deplorable situation in which Kenyatta National Hospital is, and yet it is assigned about 500 million yearly towards maintenance. It has a higher budget than counties combined, and we need to call them to order. Mr. Speaker, this is an urgent issue that needs to be taken seriously by the Committee on Health. On the issue of hostels, I totally support what Senator Onyonka says, that as we create and increase more universities, we need to have intergovernmental conversations to ensure housing development is prioritized for universities, and a standard charge is given per households, and rules put in place to ensure that the most needy children or the most needy learners get the first priority to go to those.
Senator Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to support the statement by my Nairobi Senator, Senator Sifuna, in regards to the security issue at Kenyatta National Hospital, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, currently I sit as a member of the Health Committee. Today, we were to visit Kenyatta National Hospital between 1 and 2 p.m. today. Apparently, we didn't manage because we had the stakeholders of Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, Kenyatta University on the issue whereby the students had not been able to utilize the hospital for their training. And it has really taken quite our time, but we had seek permission from the Speaker to visit Kenyatta National Hospital today to be able to look into this issue. How today we have patients being murdered in a hospital, and not just any hospital, Mr. Speaker. A referral hospital, one of the biggest referral hospitals, not only in this country, but in this city, Mr. Speaker. It is very, very discouraging. I've also seen what Senator Muma has shared on our Senate wall, as far as, again, the deplorable state of Kenyatta Hospital is concerned, Mr. Speaker. I want to assure members that this is a matter that as a committee, we are giving very high priority to be able to get into the bottom of the issues that are happening at Kenyatta National Hospital, and we'll be able to give a report to this House, because it's even more than the issue of the security, Mr. Speaker. Even the state, the condition of a hospital like Kenyatta National Hospital, Mr. Speaker, is deplorable, it's shameful to have a hospital at this status, yet we have
Senator Mutinda, that you are giving commitments that the committee will undertake this investigation. Is it possible that you can give even timelines on behalf of the chair, so that this afternoon we can at least promise Kenyans that a report can come to the Senate soonest time possible?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the clarity in terms of the timelines, Mr. Speaker. This is a priority to us as a Committee of Health, and I want to believe within less than 30 days, Mr. Speaker, we should be able as a committee to give detailed information through the chair, who's not present but on still handling other matters, but it is a priority, the issue of Kenyatta National Hospital. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Senator Ososi Ngonfli.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to make comments on the statement by Senator Chute on the sharing of subscriber data, telecommunication subscriber data with the security agencies. Mr. Speaker, this statement is a very important statement, and I think it has been raised before in this House, issues to do with data privacy. I think the Committee of ICT should go into the deeper details of what happens, because the law is very clear. The Data Protection Act is very clear that yes, the security agencies can access private data, but they must get the go-ahead from the courts. They must have a court order to be able to get such data, but for security reasons. But now if we allow security agencies to have a free access to subscriber data, we will be violating the rights, privacy rights of our citizen, and that is not something that our constitution envisages. So I expect the relevant Committee of ICT to go deeper into this matter and give a report to this committee. And for the telecommunication agencies, Mr. Speaker, I think they are even violating the basic data protection principles, which are agreed globally, Mr. Speaker, and they can be liable at international level, Mr. Speaker. Let me also comment on the statement by Senator Sifuna on security of patients in our hospitals.
Senator Wakili Hilary Kiprotich Sigei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The last time I got all those names called out is a while back. I appreciate the recognition of the name that you've referred to. Mr. Speaker, I want to contribute to the statement by Senator Sifuna, particularly on the security of patients in Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, the statistics about Kenyatta National Hospital are as follows. This prompted me to check on. The capacity of Kenyatta National Hospital is 1,800 bed. It has got 6,000 employees, and it is over a century old. It is actually 122 years in service for the people of Kenya. That statistic, Mr. Speaker, tells you the kind of clientele or the people that are expected to be served by this National Referral Hospital. From their page, they have said it is a facility for world-class care, and their priority is patient-centered. From that statement and from the information that you have heard about a patient who's been killed in the hospital, it is a reflection opposite that which we see from the statements, from the information we have, and also from what we have read about the hospital. Mr. Speaker, it is a very sad state. You've heard right a few minutes ago that the condition of staff, the condition of these 6,000 staff or employees is deplorable. The facility in itself, not, I would say, fit to be a world class as they describe. Yet they are getting allocation into billions of shillings where we are unable to see where that money goes.
Senator Ziga, I have some sympathy with you, but I can't help at this point. Senator Bedi Karunda Chengo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice about the statement by Senator for Nairobi, Senator Edwin Sifuna, on the security of patients at Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate that when patients are taken to hospital and their relatives and their people expecting them to be very safe. Senator for Mombasa. Mr. Speaker, it scares Kenyans when we cannot even be safe in health facilities. And I wonder, this hospital is in Nairobi, the city of Nairobi. What of other hospitals that are in other parts of the country, in border counties, where there could be acts of terrorism, where there could be insecurity because of bandits? If we can be unsafe in Nairobi, where else can Kenyans be safe? It is very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that people can be held responsible because they are there to ensure that patients are safe, the workers in the hospital are safe, and even those who are walking in and out of the facility are safe. It is very unfortunate that patients are killed where they have gone to seek medication, where they have gone to get well again, and then they are dying from that. I want to request the security apparatus to ensure that
we come to the end of the comments on sentiments, so we proceed to order number 8, next order. But first of all, confirm whether we have quorum to put the question. Okay, proceed, call out the number.
Order number 8, motion. Report of the parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union parliamentary hearings held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, United States of America, from 8th to 9th of February 2024. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 23rd July 2025. Morning sitting. Question to be put.
Thank you, Senators. Now that we have quorum, I want to put a question that the Senate knows the report of the parliamentary delegation of the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union parliamentary hearing held at the United Nations headquarters in the New York, United States of America, from 8th to 9th February 2024, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 17th September 2024. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of that contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Approval of sittings of the Senate to be held in Busia County.
Majority Leader, always holding belief. Majority Whip, Senator Boni.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move motion number 9 on the order paper, being the approval of sittings of the Senate to be held in Busia County. That aware the Senate of Kenya is established under Article 93 of the Constitution, and its main role, as set out under Article 96, is to represent, serve, and protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Further, aware that the critical role that the Senate plays in the interlinkage between the national and county levels of government and the need to enhance the interaction between the Senate and county governments as a means of bringing the Senate closer to the counties and the general public, acknowledging the successes made during the sittings of the Senate outside Nairobi that were held in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, Turkana in September 2018, 2019, and 2023 respectively, and further acknowledging the recommendation of the Senate Business Committee that a sitting of the Senate be held away from the traditional premises here in Parliament in Nairobi during the term of the 13th Parliament, and the subsequent resolution of the Senate made on 8th of March 2023 to hold plenary and committee sittings in the counties for 1 week period within the months of September in every session of the 4th Senate, except during an election year, with the objective to 1, promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general. 2, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in the legislative process. 3, develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government. And 4, provide an opportunity for members and staff of county assemblies to learn and share the best practices with senators and parliamentary officers. Now, therefore, pursuant to Article 126(1) of the Constitution, the Senate resolves to hold its plenary and committee sittings in Busia County from 6th of June to 10th of October, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to colleagues. This is actually a procedural motion because the intention and the reason for why we're sitting out is a matter that we have all since agreed upon. As the Senate Business Committee, we have sat and found that the dates involved are convenient, And as a senior leader from the community where the Senate will sit in Busia, I want to assure the House that Busia is very beautiful. In fact, you have no idea how much you're going to find it very attractive and enjoyable. You'll therefore be able to mix business and pleasure, which is the way of life, Mr. Speaker. I'm also confirming, Mr. Speaker, that the Senator of Nairobi, who is the youngest senator from the community, will be readily at hand, the community of the community, will be readily at hand to offer any service that you require. Mr. Speaker, needless to mention, Senator Okiya Mtata, the Senator of Busia, who is a presidential candidate, who up to now is yet to launch his bid, Mr. Speaker, will again be readily available, and I hope that the Senate will find time, Mr. Speaker, to give him an opportunity to address Kenya about his presidential bid when we shall be in Busia. Mr. Speaker, every time I look at him, he talks presidential, looks presidential, but he doesn't walk presidential. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, therefore, I want to encourage the House on your way from the airport to Busia, you'll be spoiled for choice. You can choose to land in Kisumu International Airport. You can choose to land in Eldoret International Airport. You can choose to land in Kitale. And more importantly, Mr. Speaker, you can land at the heart of the land of bullfighting and gold mining in Kakamega at Iwichina Airport. Although I'm not too sure, because the ministry has been slow on the maintenance of that airport, is one of the many reasons why I am very unhappy, Mr. Speaker, with the pace at which the government is trying to access this community that will be hosting you with development. You know, Mr. Speaker, in politics, the people who opposed you and your formed government, as a presidential candidate, I know, you might have that opportunity. So take this from me. The people who oppose you when you want to be president, after you become president, when they want development, they come and beg and kneel so that you can change your mind and give them development. But the people who voted for you, when they come for development, they don't beg for it. They demand for it. Yes, I know why Omunyoro is cheering me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I did not have Mrima on the mind. I was having Western on mind. We want to aggressively push Parliament, government, so that even as they service the rest of the country, they must start with the areas that voted. I'm not a proponent of shares, because the proponent of shares is far removed from...
Karwale, let me offer some guidance.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Members of this House are the beneficiaries of this trip to Busia. So as you move this motion, members, I can see they are now getting lost. What are they expecting in Busia as in devolution? What do we need to cover? Because we are talking of devolution, we are going to Mashinani to see what is happening in Busia as the Senate. So now when you digress and go to voting and all these things, presidential, so can you stick to, especially when you are moving the motion, let the members benefit from you as the move of the motion. As a non-member, of course, you know these games. You should be able to, even myself, the speaker, convince me that what you are moving is exactly what is in the motion.
Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I'm guided, but just with a little bit of patience. I would have announced to you that we have shared roles in this motion. The gist of the motion, I've decided to leave it with the Senator of Busia, who will be second me on this motion. so that he can go into the details. However, as you come to Busia, you are coming to terms with the history of the political terrain of this country. It is in Kisii, and not in Kisii, it is in Busia, Mr. Speaker, where senators will discover that the first aircraft to crash with members of parliament, including ministers, in this country was in Busia, where we lost ministers, and one of my heroes, political heroes, Mother Karua, survived, Mr. Speaker. Younger senators like Cherargei will not understand why Mother Karua is a hero, but one day he will read the history of this nation. Mr. Speaker, in Busia, you will have an opportunity to see the challenges of the one-stop border post, Mr. Speaker. The one-stop border post in Busia has literally killed businesses in Busia, because Busia is a border town, and one area where we were making a lot of money is through the business of clearing and forwarding. Mr. Speaker, when the Committee of Health comes to Busia, they'll see for the first time how far ahead Kenya is in rolling out health services, because Busia County Hospital treats almost 45% of the patients there are from Uganda. We don't mind, Mr. Speaker, because those 45% are not strangers, they're just the lawyers on the other side. Anytime I see you intimidate me, Mr. Speaker, I always say, you know, I have a choice of being a Kenyan or a Ugandan, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when you come to Busia, you'll see with your own eyes how hardworking and innovative Kenyans are. It is in Busia that the modern African mode of transport called boda boda, it's where it was born. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I'll advise members to use the traditional boda boda of Busia. Was not a motorbike. Mr. Speaker, it was a bicycle. And how things change. I remember when I was in the National Assembly, colleagues were laughing at us that we come from a community that relies on bicycles for transport. Little did they know that innovativeness would become a national means of transport. With those many words, Mr. Speaker, I now want to invite you, the presidential pretender, and by pretender you should understand what I mean by that word. Doesn't mean you have no chance. The claimant to the presidency, the distinguished senator of Busia, my own younger brother. Mr. Speaker, the House does not know, this guy has, before he came here, he helped me a lot to succeed as chairman of public accounts, because he could give me information that I used to pin government down when I was the chairman in my other life. Welcome to second me, the Senator of Busia.
Senator Koiti Andrew Mtata.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to second this very important motion. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the motion was passed last time, but due to budgetary constraints, the Senate was unable to go and sit in Busia. This time, I hope we'll not hit the same boulder or the same iceberg, but as the indomitable bullfighter, the Honorable Senator from Kakamega has said, it will be an important experience for the Senate to go and sit in this town, Busia town, and see the countryside and sample what this country has in that part of the world. And then you will also understand the impact of the politics of marginalization on communities. because Busia has got some facilities that are not even available in the entire region. For example, Busia has got cave paintings, prehistoric cave paintings in Kakapel. I hope the Senate will go there and see for itself that we have got prehistoric cave paintings that were done by those prehistoric human beings. But the area is hardly developed, is hardly utilized. If you look at similar sites in Namibia, which I think is the nearest comparison, you will not believe what is happening. Many people will be surprised, many senators will be surprised to learn that Busia has got a big lake, Lake Victoria. And I would love for people to visit the Samia and Bunyala regions of Busia, and especially look at the road transport, the water transport, and how neglected it is. You will notice that it is quite a Herculean task for people to move from one island to another. They will also be able to witness the silting that has brought a lot of flooding to the region, whereby the rivers don't flow into the lake. We will also be able to look at areas like, again, according to the maps by Carlo, hardship areas in Busia, in Bunyala, in Samia, and in Teso North. These are hardship areas which have been clearly indicated to be hardship areas, yet the people who are sent to work there are never paid those hardship allowances. The schools don't get those hardship allowances. And so people will come and see for themselves the kind of challenges we have in a land of plenty, or a land of huge potential. People will also come and see the destruction of wetlands as a result of sugarcane farming. And I hope we also look at the River Yala, the Yala swamp, which we are told is about 17,000 hectares, 11,000 of which are in Busia, 6,000 in Siaya, but all decisions governing the swamp are made largely in Siaya, with Busia left holding the short end of the stick. So we will also come, and it will be a good opportunity because in terms of service delivery, the county is not performing very well. And the Senate sitting in Busia will help us audit and ferret out some of the issues that are leading to underdevelopment. I have finished a forensic audit of the 2022-2023 financial year in Busia. I don't know if there's any other senator in this house who does forensic audits of their counties. I've done that forensic audit. I will be releasing the results tomorrow. But the picture is sad. In terms of public money, Busia is a crime scene. It's a crime scene to the extent that there's a lot of abuse of public funds given to the county government. And I hope that when the Senate comes to Busia, the governor and his team, it will hold their feet to the fire so that we can get some accountability on the ground. You will see for yourselves the level of underdevelopment even right down in the city center. When it rains, you need gumboots to move around. You realize that. You'll see the airport that Senior has referred to, where the airplane crashed. It was grabbed. I'm right now litigating in court to get it back. And I'm happy to report that my litigation was made a bit easy when Mr. Muturi Justin was the AG. Because before that, the Office of the Attorney General was supporting the grabbers. But when Mr. Muturi came in, he gave the correct record and we are waiting for a verdict in court. In fact, the hearing is on Wednesday over that airstrip. You'll see that the airstrip has been grabbed. You'll see the congestion of the trucks, the one-stop border point. Yes, it came. You will stand on the Kenyan side, and as the crow flies, look across the border to the Ugandan side. And you'll wonder why the Ugandan side infrastructure is much superior to the Kenyan side, yet the financials was the same, and the allocations were the same. It's a very sad situation for us, because even when you drive to Namanga, you see the kind of, and then you cross over to Tanzania, and you see that was the funding by the same developer, and you find that the road on the Kenyan side is narrower, it's full of potholes. On the Tanzanian side, the road has been done according to the textbook. So you'll see that in Malaba and in Busia. There is also a border crossing point in Busia that was gazetted years ago. We are having a webinar today. People from Busia were discussing it. It was gazetted. The Ugandan side have done the infrastructure. The Kenyan side is nothing. It would have helped ease the congestion that we usually experience in those towns. So you wonder what is happening and why did we gazette those kind of things. It's also been noted that Busia is the only part of Kenya that had the great apes. Or in Swahili they are called Sokwemutu. The great apes in Atasoy they are called Ichom. And there's a place called Ngelechom, we are in the land of the great apes. When you look at it, sometime in 1952, the colonial government excised some land, about 300 acres, for the preservation of the apes. That land has been encroached on, all the trees have been cut away. The apes have moved to Uganda, to the wind impenetrable forest. They have abandoned Kenya. You will see that vast land sitting there, and maybe the Senate will have a chance to look at it and say, what do we do with this land? I've been engaged in a very active recovery of that land, trying to push away the encroachers who wanted to turn it into sugarcane farms. And these are the unique things, because people are going to Uganda to see great apes. We had them in Kenya, but we have not just looked after them. Now look at what kind of potential is that for tourism. You have a lake, you have prehistoric sites, you have got the great apes, but the place is that poor. Nobody cares about it. Some of these things don't require the guidance. Some of these things are national. The governor just came in the other day. We have had independence from 1963. Why were they not developed like other parts of the country? Yeah, was it an idle talk when Idi Amin said that the border of Uganda is in Naivasha? It was not, because that area was totally neglected. So we need to look at historical injustice. Of course, the governors have committed their sins, but their sins are not the original sin. Their sins are basically transactional. They are not structural. We have structural sins in this country that need to be addressed. So when you come to Busia, you'll be able to see what we are talking about. Of course, the governor will have to be held to account, and I will want them to hold them to account. And as I said, I will be releasing my report, my forensic audit report tomorrow, and you'll see what I've unearthed. And I will urge every senator to try and do the same, to try and do forensic audits on the accounts of their county governments. And you'll see the kind of problems we are facing. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm really excited, I'm really happy, and I'm prepared to host the people of Kenya in Busia. And by the Senate going to Busia, it underscores my statement that no senator is a senator of a county. Senators are senators of the Republic of Kenya, but they come from counties. Yeah. In fact, nominated to have bigger constituencies. So, when we come to Busia, you will be coming as senators of Kenya to Busia, but Mr. Speaker, sir, you will come as a senator of Kenya from the great people of Meru. You will not come like the Senate of Meru. In your oath of office, Meru never appeared. But in your governor's oath of office, Meru appears. So when you come, you are coming as a national leader with the full rights to be in Busia as the senator of the Republic of Kenya from Meru. And you can ask any question. That's why it's very important that this House adopts the correct phraseology when referring to senators, and the National Assembly does equally the same. This business of saying that Senator of Nandi, how Cherargei is a senator of Kenya. He only comes from Nandi. But it's a senator of Kenya. When he votes here, he makes a law that covers the whole country. If he blocks a law here, the entire country does not get that law. So we must get the correct phraseology to give ourselves the mindset to understand who we are. We cannot deliver on our mandate if we don't know who we are. We are not village boys. So by coming to Busia, you'll be coming as senators of the Republic of Kenya who have got every right to be in Busia and to exercise authority. My governor of Busia cannot even go and say anything in Siaya. He's a foreigner there. But Cherargei can go to Wajir and gorge and charge and do everything you want to do there. So let us get the correct physiology of who we are. And this is an opportunity to understand that. I really get offended when we talk of a senator of Nairobi. How? Mr. Sifuna, yes, the things he does in this country is for the whole country, for the whole nation. He just happens to come from Nairobi. But he's a senator of the Republic of Kenya. My member of parliament, the local area where I come from, Teso South, is called Madam Honorable Mary Mase. She is a member of parliament of the Republic of Kenya, but from Teso South. We must get that phraseology to give us that national outlook. Otherwise, we begin looking, pigeonholing when we look at the problems of this country. We must stand on the balcony as national leaders and have a world view that is not restrained by choosing to stand in your small villages. So I welcome you to the County of Busia, and Mrs. Funa has just walked in. I'm saying that I said that in Busia, we have got everything that this country needs. But because of our bad politics and history, the original sin of this country, we were marginalized, and even the great apes we had, with a complete park for the apes, is no longer have moved to Bwindi impenetrable forest in Uganda because nobody cared about them. Now the land has become a grazing site. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I say that this concept of the Senate choosing to sit in counties is absolutely important, as it gives that county or the people of Kenya to understand that we are one country, we are one nation. We just have regions and what have you, but we are one people, we are one nation, and I'll welcome you. My brother says I don't work presidential. When you come to Busia, I may even be imperial. I may even be imperial, but I'll work presidential. So most welcome, I'm most happy, I'm excited, and I hope my governor too will be excited, and we will together be able to host the great people of Kenya. And I know when you come to Busia, all the assets that you'll carry to the assembly, whatever will be left there. So Busia will be the richer. And MCS will be the richer. And all of us will be the richer. So Mr. Speaker, sir, with those few remarks, I support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Koitio Mtata. Thank you for seconding. But Senator Karongo Adhango has been grappling to hear the social aspects of Busia County. You have omitted that part which is very, very important as well. So you have given us very, very tough issues that we want to witness, but the social aspect, then we are scared. Or not just, but Senator Karongo Adhango, sorry, I have also included myself there, but Senator Karongo Adhango is lost. Anyway, Honorable Senators, I propose the question that aware that the Senate of Kenya is established under Article 93 of the Constitution, and its main role as set out at Article 96 is to represent, serve, and protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Further aware of the critical role that the Senate plays in the interlinkage between national and county levels of government, and the need to enhance the interaction between the Senate and the county governments as a means of bringing the Senate closer to the counties and the general public. Acknowledging the successes made during the sittings of the Senate outside Nairobi and in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, and Turkana counties in September 2018, 2019, and 2023 respectively. Further acknowledging the recommendation of the Senate Business Committee that the sitting of the Senate be held away from the traditional premises in Parliament buildings in Nairobi during the term of the 13th Parliament and the subsequent dissolution of the Senate made on 8th March 2023 to hold plenary and committee sittings in the counties for a one-week period within the month of September in every session of the 4th Senate, except an election year with the objective to, 1, promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general. 2, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in the legislative process. And 3, develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government. And 4, provide an opportunity to members and staff of county assemblies to learn and share best practices with the senators and parliamentary officers. Now, therefore, pursuant to Article 126(1) of the Constitution, the Senate resolves to hold its plenary and committee sittings in Busia County from 6th to 10th October 2025. I thought from the onset this was termed as just a procedural motion, but I can see we have several senators who want to spend some time. But senators, can we agree maybe how long can this take so that can you get consensus? 3, 5? There is also 1 minute from Senator Zena. 3 minutes, fine, 3 minutes. Let's start with Senator Chalagai Samson.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I agree this is a procedural motion. Mr. Speaker, it has always been my argument because as a ranking member of this House, Mr. Speaker, we should do more of oversight visits. I remember in public accounts we have tried to visit, and I'm happy that this time Busia we should visit, Mr. Speaker. We need to go there and see what is happening. The area senator did not assure us of our security because the last time he was there, he was living under hail of stones. But I hope the security agencies will handle that matter. Mr. Speaker, Malaba border point and Busia being one of the critical towns as you exit our country is critical. And I remember East Africa Community Trade Protocols. Malaba is one of the few and important places. Mr. Speaker, it's always sad to see in the news that there is gridlock, there is inefficiency, especially in our trade of transporting, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, and I want to assure Senator Okiya Mtata, the principle of broad-based government, and His Excellency the President, is equity and equality, Mr. Speaker. And that is why he has said the political marginalization has always affected Busia, Mr. Speaker. Yet other parts of this country has developed. I want to assure him, and also the whip of the government, Mr. Speaker, that the president is very keen on bringing equity and equality development across the country. And the only time that the Senator Momutata, Senator Kalwale, should give the chance to government to deliver on equity and equitable development, Mr. Speaker, so that we can move going into the future. Mr. Speaker, as I exit, I want to leave the only verse of Revelation, chapter 3.
Senator Chalagai, just a minute. What is your point of honor, Senator Boni? Karwale.
Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order number 105, is the Senator of Nandi in order to pretend that he is the spokesperson of the government, to pretend that he is a minister? Mr. Speaker, can he be asked to withdraw remarks aimed to imply that he can inform the chief whip of the government when the reverse is the case, Mr. Speaker, on how government works? Unless, Mr. Speaker, he is implying that this is a tribal government which he is trying to defend. We have a government of Kenya which does not recognize him with any leadership position whatsoever. He's a small man, Senator of Nandi. Could he migrate from his tribal thinking and focus on how government works?
Senator Boni Kalwale, it's today that also I'm hearing that you are the majority whip of the government. I thought you are the majority whip of the majority side, not of the government. Because you can form the government and still you don't own the majority. Are you aware that you contemplate that?
Speaker, I stand guided, but why I have so stated is because there's so much confusion now. We don't know which is the majority side, which is the minority side. Because the people on minority side are in government. The people in majority side, they don't know where to go. In fact, they are sitting on committees.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, for that reason, since I am not part of the broad-based government, I thought I should say of the original government.
You can now clarify maybe what you meant.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Kalwale is on a fishing expedition. Mr. Speaker, Senator Kalwale is on several occasions attacking this government. We have even removed him in WhatsApp groups, even in United Democratic Alliance executive meeting where I am a member of NEC. He doesn't sit there because he's opposing government. And that is why I'm advising you on Revelation chapter 3 verse 14 to 22. The Bible says don't behave like Ludokia Christians. You are neither cold or warm. And that is why I'm saying as a majority leader, as a majority whip, how can he question government on development, yet he is using a government vehicle? Yet he is the whip of the government, Mr. Speaker, and accusing government that they have done nothing in Western Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I know he's trying for popularity contest to run for governor of Kakamega, but he will not survive. When ODM is having a candidate, he will not survive in Kakamega, Mr. Speaker. And the SG of ODM is looking at me. Because the current governor of Kakamega is a member, distinguished member of ODM, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise, I am not a small man, Bwana Kalwale. The fact that I was elected by the great people of Nandi to be the senator, not only as the first senator, I am enjoying my 2 terms, Mr. Speaker. And God willing, President Ruto will enjoy the 2 terms coming into the future, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal, we are in this broad-based government to stay. And I want to confirm to Senator Kalwale that President William Ruto and Raila Odinga will work beyond 2027, Mr. Speaker, for some of us who sit, Mr. Speaker, who sit deeper and deeper in government, Mr. Speaker. With those very remarks, Mr. Speaker, I submit and I submit.
Senator Ezena Lemelatian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I rise to contribute to this very noble initiative by the Senate. And I support the sitting of the Senate in Busia County. And I am glad that the Senator of Busia has just made me know or realize that Busia is among the marginalized counties in this country. And Mr. Speaker, I thought marginalization was for minority communities. But now that we have majority communities in this country who are also suffering from marginalization, I think now we can declare war on marginalization as the Senate, as the oversight of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, it is very important to carry out these sittings in the remote parts of this country. Reason being, when we sit here at the comfort zone of Nairobi, very often we fail to recognize that there are parts of this country that do not even realize what the roles of Senate is. Even worst of all, some counties, like in my county, Samburu, voters and citizens do not know the role of any elected leader. Because I have noted with very serious concern that when elected leaders realize that most of their people are illiterate, they take advantage of that and lure them with false narratives, with false promises. And then our people start wondering, how come that every time we elect people and they turn out to be very bad, they turn out to be liars, they turn out to be very corrupt people? It is because these people do not even know the role of these specific leaders in the offices that they hold. And it will also be good for our citizens in the marginalized parts of this country to note that senators do not have development funds, that senators are there to speak and talk. Senators are there to defend the rights of the people, to ensure that public resources are utilized for the intended and rightful purposes. Senators are there to question any embezzlement of funds in each of our counties. Because it is very saddening, Mr. Speaker, when we have a lot of resources being pumped by Treasury to our respective counties. But after almost 15 years after devolution, some of our counties are still lagging behind. It is very hurtful, Mr. Speaker. The other day, and I thank the President of Kenya when I was in Baragoi, he sponsored
Next time, train yourself to look at the lights. When they turn light green, you are cushioned, and red, you should stop. Next time, you are doing so well nowadays. Congratulations. Next is Senator Kadangwa Paul.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I don't know why you singled me out on the issue of social life in Busia. And Busia is not new to me. I've been to Busia severally. I've actually gone to the home and visited the mother of the senator from Busia, Okiya Omtata. And I was actually given a rosary by her mother, which I believe has been keeping me safe from this rogue government. Mr. Speaker, I have actually visited a place called the Kakapel Rock in Busia, one of the biggest rocks in East and Central Africa, just below the foot of Chelelemuk Hills, Mr. Speaker. So I know Busia, but there are so many problems that the governor should solve for the Busia people. That is traffic jam when it comes to the border point, Mr. Speaker. If you travel there by road, sometimes you will hate your trip to Busia. And I would want to tell Senator Cherargei, who is asking the Senator Omtata to provide security, the people of Busia are good people. Nothing will happen to you from the people of Busia. What the Senate should be doing, Mr. Speaker, is to provide security to us, the senators who are opposing this government, because this government is trading us from left to center. But because I'm near Kiambu, I'm able to have 3-4 vehicles from the people of Kiambu to follow me. But when I go to Busia, I might not have the same car. So is the Senate going to provide me security from this rogue regime that are trying to plant weapons and canisters from tear gas so that they can charge us with terrorism, Mr. Speaker? That is what they want to do. Now you are taking me away from the capital where I have security. Not from the people of Busia, but from this rogue regime, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we get to Busia, give us an opportunity to talk to the MCAs of Busia. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, we are not afraid of the rogue regime. We will go.
Senator Paul, thank you. Wait a minute. What is your point of order, Senator Roba?
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask my colleague, the Honorable Senator for Kiambu County. I rise on point of order number 105 to substantiate all the statement he's making about the government and the issue of rogue and, the government becoming a threat and all the issues that he has said. Can he just substantiate or otherwise withdraw and apologize to the government? We are discussing the sitting of the Senate in Busia, not the government. And there is no time that Honorable Senator for Nairobi County, I'm on the floor on a point of order. You can raise any other issue, but let me just conclude by saying I want the Honorable Senator Thangwa to substantiate or otherwise withdraw and apologize by trying to pit the government in issues that are not related to government, of hooliganism and other issues. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Chalage, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I rise under standing order number 98, 101, 105, and article 243, 244, 245 of the Constitution and 246 to seek a clarity from the distinguished Senator of Kiambu to be ruled out of order, not clarity, to be ruled out of order by not knowing, and this is free of charge, Mr. Speaker, that the police command and security is independent of the executive. Is it in order? The Inspector General of Police under the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, can you protect me from these howlers and hecklers, Mr. Speaker? Can you protect me?
Senator Sifuna, give him time to execute.
You will respond.
You rise on a point of order or something else. But making noise does not...
Making noise does not take away my right, Mr. Speaker. Under the structure and command of Inspector General of Police, is it in order for the distinguished senator, who might only be one term, Mr. Speaker, to say that, Mr. Speaker...
You are repeating yourself.
No, Mr. Speaker, I just need... Can you rule out of order the distinguished senator of Kiambu, Mr. Speaker, for saying that the executive is controlling Inspector General of Police, yet Inspector General of Police is independent as per the Constitution, Mr. Speaker? Which point of information?
Senator,
I'm on a point of order.
Karungo, can you give those clarifications? And your time is really running.
No, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, just hold my time on my contribution. This is their time.
So
yeah, because they are the ones who have interjected me, and that's why I want to answer them, Mr. Speaker. If they never answered, if they never asked, then I will be contributing. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm being told to substantiate the obvious. Mr. Speaker, today as we speak, the Honorable Koimburi of Juja was taken by DCI. A few days ago, the Honorable Member for Manyata in Embu was taken by DCI on his way home. The other days, MP for Naivasha, Jane Kehara, was taken by DCI from her home. These people are trailing us everywhere, Mr. Speaker. And I have some information. They want to plant guns and tear gas canisters in our vehicles so that they can charge us with treason, Mr. Speaker. So that's why we are saying we are just being careful, Mr. Speaker. This is a rogue regime, Mr. Speaker. They are looking for every...
Senator Olekina Redama.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion on holding the Senate session in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, it is imperative that Kenyans note that whenever we take the session outside the presence of Parliament is for us to be able to continue with the day, with our order paper of the day. Not for us to be able to go and engage with MCS or engage the citizens. It is essentially taking the same business that we'll be carrying out here and taking it to Busia. Mr. Speaker, I'm quite happy that we are now reaching out to other counties, because while we are there, going on with our daily order, or when you look at the order paper, when we leave the premises of that parliament, which would have been gazetted, we'll get a chance to be able to enjoy the cultural diversity that exists in Busia. A little fact that is not known about Busia is that it's home for the largest freshwater lake in East Africa, which is Lake Victoria. It is also important for us to appreciate the fact that we have been fighting for a very long time for the East African community to be actualized. Busia is a border town, and it will give these legislators an opportunity to see the importance of actualizing the East African community or the East African Federation. I'm sure the distinguished senator from Busia is constantly held in traffic when there are so many trucks that are crossing. It will give these distinguished senators from the 47 counties who are elected by representatives from each of the 47 counties, as well as the special elect, an opportunity to be able to acquaint themselves with the rest of Kenya. I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that even though I've been to Busia, I've only been to Busia during the campaigns. I've not had a chance to be able to widen, sort of like deepen my relations with the people of Busia. And I'm quite happy that the Maasais actually live in Busia. There's a small community of the Maasai community that live in Busia. So while we go to Busia, I will be able to extend, when I'm not sitting in Parliament, to carry out the order of the day, to be able to go there and reach out to my brothers who live in Busia. Mr. Speaker, let us be reminded that we are a legislative arm of government. Our role is to legislate. Our role is not to fight with the other arms of government. Our role is to make legislation that will make this country a better place for future generations. The young people who are seated here today, I want, when you leave here, you leave with having witnessed how we fight for devolution, but not how we heckle, how we fight among each other. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lobahali Hibulin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this motion for us to go and sit in Busia. Senate Mashinani. Mr. Speaker, the role of awareness creation is also a responsibility as a Senate to make sure that the country knows the roles and responsibilities of the Senate. It is wise that we are choosing different areas. Last year we sat in Turkana, this year we'll be in Busia, and we will be able to interact with the communities of Busia and be able to bring the Senate to the population of our communities in different counties. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to support, maybe outside the agenda of the motion, I've had a number of discussions that have come up that is unrelated to the discussion. I would like to urge our colleagues to also confine themselves to the motion in question so that we're able to constructively contribute, and other issues that are controversial can be discussed in a different forum. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the sitting in Busia.
Senator Osonzi-Gonfrey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am very delighted to support this motion because Busia County and Vihiga County, they all belong to what used to be called Western Province. So I'm very delighted, just like the way the senator of Busia is delighted, that finally this year we are going to have our sitting in Busia County. And a lot has been said about Busia. I will not repeat, but I want to emphasize that as we do the sittings in these counties, we should do a proper engagement with the locals. In fact, my expectation is that every committee should come up with a program on how to engage the locals.
so that to give solutions to the people of Busia. For example, the issue of traffic in Malaba and even in Busia itself, the Transport Committee should actually prepare to go and address that issue on the ground. And for me, my committee, we have planned that we are going to have our sittings in Busia to look at issues of water, Busia Water Company. We are also going to look at the issues of hospitals in Busia County. So I think we will do a great service to the people of Busia if our programs and our agenda within that period will be there is targeted to the people of Busia. And that is not enough, Mr. Speaker. I also expect that even outside the formal settings that we will be in, we should also seize this opportunity to do awareness about the functions of Senate. Mr. Speaker, I'm increasingly becoming concerned that many of our people do not really understand the roles of Senate. How many times have we gone to meetings and people are asking us, Senator, when are you going to bring us a road? When are you going to build us a school? I think it is very important to also use this opportunity to make our people understand the oversight role of Senate and our contribution as provided for in the Constitution. Even in oversight, there are two levels of oversight. We have primary oversight and we have secondary oversight. In many of our counties, people only understand that the person who does oversight is senator. They have even forgotten that MCAs also have a role to do primary oversight. These are things that I expect the Secretariat to have a program to create awareness to the people of Busia. So
Senator Sifuna Edwin Watenya.
Honorable Speaker, we continue to grapple with the very unfair application of the rules of this House, that people will bring irrelevant discussions when they are making contributions, but people only rise to object when others do it. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by saying I am very proud that I was a member of the House Business Committee in 2024 when we made the decision to host Senate Mashinani in Busia. And Honorable Speaker, please pause my time.
Senator Boni Karwale, Senator Aliroba.
Yeah, Speaker, I was saying I was a member of SBC when this decision was made. And I want to correct something that has been said here, that people have forgotten, members have forgotten that in fact last year we did not have Senate Mashinani because we had been given an option of choosing between Busia and Baringo. And would you believe it, Honorable Speaker, we were not able to go to Busia as a Senate because we were told that this House has no resources to get senators to Busia. And that is why when members of the National Assembly ask us, what exactly is the Senate's problem with the National Assembly or with Parliament generally? These are some of the things, because we are hindered in our ability to perform our functions because of the sort of facilitation for our functions that we get from Parliament. So, members of the National Assembly, I hope you understand the things that the Senate goes through. Honorable Speaker, in Turkana we had a very good experience. I was happy because when you go to these places you learn a lot. That even in the chambers where our colleagues, the members of the county assemblies sit, where we share and that oversight responsibility. Honorable Speaker, we are very lucky as a Senate. And my prayer has always been that all the county assemblies would reflect or look like the Senate in here in Nairobi, so that the members of the assembly can also be able to undertake their functions in an environment, the same environment that we enjoy. Honorable Speaker, I come from Bungoma. That's my hometown. And there are many ways to access Busia from Bungoma. You can use the road from Kandui to Malaba. There's another one that goes through Bumula. There's another one that goes through Matungu. Honorable Speaker, I want to disclose here that as SG of ODM, I'm very proud of the county of Busia. The county of Busia has the highest percentage of registered voters who are members of ODM. It is not Ziaya that is number one, or Homa Bay. It is Busia County, number one in the registration of members of ODM. So I am very proud of that county. We won almost all the seats there, Honorable Speaker, which is a factor that makes me very proud as well. So we are hoping that when we are there, We will get opportunity to interact with the people. In Turkana, the people of Lodwar told me that many of the senators were not interacting with them. We want you to interact with the people of Busia because that is the land of Mulembe. There's no problems there. And I want to assure you, Senator from Busia, that if there are any spillovers, if there are any things or shortages of anything, even if it is chicken, to run fresh chicken from my mother's farm to Busia, it will take less than 40 minutes, Honorable Speaker. And I will also be inviting the Senate to go and visit my mother in Bungoma. After you are done, you can rest there. And Speaker, I wish we had enough resources to pursue the idea that has been affronted by the Senator for Vihiga. Speaker, we need to spend more time in the counties. We need our committees to spend more time in the counties, and we need to be properly resourced for us to be able to be on the ground.
To request for more time to this afternoon.
Speaker,
strictly 1 minute, kindly.
Experience. The one thing that the governors don't like to see is the Senate on the ground. Is the Senate on the ground. I am happy that upon my request, the Committee on Public Accounts is coming to Nairobi to audit our projects. The Committee on Devolution is also coming to audit the state of devolution in Nairobi. Imagine, Honorable Speaker, if all the committees of this House were to spend 1 week in Meru. The Committee on Roads is sitting somewhere, Public Accounts is looking at the books. I think we would do better and thorough work on the ground if we were able to spend more time there. And I want to beseech this House to make it possible for our committees to spend more time on the ground, especially in these last 2 years, Honorable Speaker. We should spend more time on the ground to audit projects and the performance of these governors, because that is what we were elected to do. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your kind indulgence.
Well spoken, because Senator Charagai was said to put an intervention. He thought you and I. Yeah. Okay, we are almost concluding. Next is Senator Oburu Odinga.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I come from Siaya County, which is bordering with Busia. And Mr. Speaker, history has it that when Western was part of Nyanza, Busia, part of Busia, which is Samia and Manyala, were part of Central Nyanza. They were not part of North Nyanza. And Busia is our connection with Uganda. Actually, that is the umbilical cord between us and Uganda. Whenever we have problems with Uganda, we would rather have the DCs of Busia and the DCs of Siaya discussing with those ones over the border. And when you go there, you will be able to witness all this. Because it is not just on the land that we border with Uganda. We also border with Uganda in the waters of Lake Victoria. Busia borders with Uganda in the waters of Lake Victoria. And there are so many islands. Some of them we are claiming are ours. I don't want to mention them to create a problem with our neighbors. But I know they are, where the people who are living there are people from Kenya, they are people from Busia who are living there. But Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, there is also a cross-border. There are tribes and clans who live across the border. If you, for instance, Mr. Speaker, the brother of Mudia Wori was a presidential candidate in Uganda, and Mudia Wori was the vice president of Kenya. Because the Samias are Samias both on the Uganda side, and they have MPs from this other side. So when we go there, we are going to understand the people. And the people there are very good. Those who are concerned, my brother from Kiambu was concerned about security. His own people are living there. There are a lot of them. When he goes there, he will find them. So how do they live there safely? And he wants to feel unsafe when he goes there. Mr. Speaker, I think the decision of the Senate to be taking this Senate machinani is a very, very wise decision, Mr. Speaker, because you cannot understand the people without interacting with them. When you interact with them,
very well. I think when we get to Busia, you should be the first senator to give us that history as we settle down to start our work there. Senator Veronica Waheti Duarte.
Thank you for the opportunity. The Senate represents the counties and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. There is no better program for Senate to undertake than to go to Senate Mashinani and to make efforts to reach out to the 47 counties. The rich experience we had in Turkana County, the last time that we had Senate Mashinani, was proof of the fact that Senate should actually find ways and means and reasons to sit in the counties and understand exactly what the counties need. And that's why I'm quite looking forward to being in Busia County, and I look forward to experiencing the rich cultural heritage that is in Busia County, fronted by the Luya and the Teso communities, a rich agricultural county which has sugarcane as its commercial farming, a crop which I believe has now brought a smile to the farmers in Busia. And I'm sure Senate will be happy to receive the feedback, especially because the payment of sugarcane has been revamped by the government. And I know that they have good feedback on whether devolved agriculture is working, especially in the sugarcane farming, which has been brought very many issues of contention before, but which now must have given a smile to the farmers in Busia. It also hosts a one border stop point, Honorable Speaker, and this can help us to see how that border point has helped the county to revamp the trade that is happening around Lake Victoria, and that is connecting the East African region, Honorable Speaker. I cannot imagine what would happen if Senate was to make visits to different counties, also like Murang'a County, Honorable Speaker, to see how the devolved functions are working, especially the hospitals, Honorable Speaker. So we are asking the county of Busia, especially the county government of Busia, please check out how your hospitals are, whether the mothers are comfortable, because the senators will be there, and we will be able to see whether those hospitals are meeting the standards and whether the money that is being devolved to that county, Honorable Speaker, is reaching to give the service to Wananchi. Honorable Speaker, I hope Senate will be able to combine some of the functions that are done by committees like Peak and Park to be able to see whether the devolved function and the way the funds are being utilized to serve the people in Busia, Honorable Speaker, is being honestly done, or it's another, I'm avoiding to use a crime scene, Honorable Speaker, because we have seen several counties, those funds never.
There was time limitation of 3 minutes. Senator Wakoli, you on the line, but I think you'll be sentenced to opt out.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii ambayo umenipa ili niweze kuchangia sababu ambazo ninaunga mkono hoja ya kwamba bunge la Senate liwe na vikao katika gatuzi la Busia, kwa sababu watu wa Busia, Mheshimiwa Spika, kama kaunti nyinginezo katika serikali na nchi ya Kenya, kaunti hii ina haki ya kukaribisha wageni kutoka pembe mbalimbali waje wajionee tamaduni na itifaki zote zinazohusisha watu wa Busia. Mheshimiwa Spika, Busia ni kaunti ambayo ina tabaka mbalimbali. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna jamii ya Batura, Bukusu, Teso, Wajaluo, Wakikuyu, wote wako katika eneo la Busia. Mheshimiwa Spika, unapoangalia eneo la Busia, Mheshimiwa Spika, Ni eneo ambalo lina vivukio vya mpaka kadhaa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna Malaba, Busia na eneo la Mlwanda, Mheshimiwa Spika. Eneo la Busia kama jinsi wenzangu wametaja, kuna ukulima wa pamba, ukulima wa mahindi, ukulima wa parachichi, ukulima wa miwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na ni muhimu watu wa Busia wapate nafasi hii kwa sababu baadhi ya viongozi nchini humu hutamka maneno ambayo hawaelewi na hawajui mbona, kana kwamba eneo la Busia linahitaji fedha la kusawazisha miradi ya maendeleo, Mheshimiwa Spika. Eneo la Budalangi, eneo la Teso, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni maeneo ambayo watu wana uchochole, wana umaskini na ambao lazima fedha zifike ili watu waweze kujivunia. Kwa mapana na marefu, Mheshimiwa Spika, eneo bunge ama maeneo ya Busia, Busia linapakana na kaunti ya Kakamega, kaunti ya Bungoma na kaunti ya Siaya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hivi kwamba mnapokuja katika kaunti ya Busia, mnaweza pata starehe ama kubugia tembo katika kaunti ya Bungoma. Mnaweza pata vitumbuizi, Mheshimiwa Spika, vitu vya kusisimua miili yetu na hamu ya kujua kwamba Bungoma vile vile kuna Wabukusu, kuna Abateso, kuna Batura, kuna Wasabot, kuna na watu kule Chebiuk, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao kuna eneo la asali na maziwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kule Chebiuk, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna maeneo ya upanzi wa viazi, upanzi wa kahawa na vile vile ukulima wa ng'ombe. Hivi ni kuambia Wakenya kwamba takapoenda katika eneo la Busia waje wakijua kwamba vile vile wana shida ambazo lazima zitatuliwe. Barabara ya kutoka Kisumu kwenda Busia, Mheshimiwa Spika, vile vile kuna barabara ya kutoka Mayoni kwenda Nambale na kufika paka kule Busia, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna barabara ya kutoka Busia kuja paka Mateka na maeneo mengine, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hivi ni kusema kwamba Senate likiwa katika eneo bunge ama kaunti ya Busia ni kuweka.
Now, having no other senator now wishing to contribute, I request the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank colleagues for supporting this very important motion and wish to use this opportunity to urge the governor of Busia to be ready for us. We would like him to be ready for us. We have questions we want to ask him. He runs a budget of 9.8 billion shillings per year. Mr. Speaker, as a son of that region, I'm not happy that I don't see the evidence of the 9.8 billion shillings on the ground in Busia. We owe it to our people. And therefore, the governor will be urging you, you have to think of how to open the economy of Busia. There is no reason, Senator of Busia, why the governor of Busia cannot take advantage for the East African trade protocols, along with the governor of Siaya and the governor of Kisumu and the governor of Homa Bay, to open up the blue economy. If they open up the blue economy, we are going to see the economy of Seaport opening up. The economy of Port Victoria is going to open up. The economy of Port Bunyala will open up. They're just staying there. The governors of the Lake region should stop looking at Lake Victoria just in terms of fishing. They have to open up. I don't see why, Mr. Speaker, the governor of Busia cannot develop Bumbe Beach, very beautiful, back home there. I don't see why he is not developing Shisenya Beach, very beautiful back home there. We need to put that encouragement to him. 2 years is still a long time. He can be able to open up the economy of Busia. And with those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I move and I thank you.
So,
for the voting.
Clerk, do you have quorum to put the question?
Mr. Speaker, with your permission, When I look around the House, the numbers are not good for voting. I move that you defer putting of the question until another date. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, let me understand whether there is a senator who has been assigned by Senator Andy Okech. Maybe Senator Chere has been assigned by or requested by Senator Okech. Don't believe for him. Next order.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole, the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024.
Honorable Senators, we are now in the Committee of the Whole for the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024. Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Madam Chair, I stand on Standing Order 41 that if you look around the House, there is no quorum as provided for by the standing orders. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Clerk, is there quorum? There is no quorum. Sergeant at Arms, can you ring the bell for 10 minutes? Honorable Senators, there being no quorum and having rung the bell pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42, we will report to the Senate.
Honorable Senators, I request the Chair to report progress.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 41-2B, there was no quorum at the Committee of the Whole. Therefore, we did not make progress on the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024.
Honorable Senators, abstaining. Honorable Senators, having failed to attain quorum at the expiry of the 10 minutes, the Senate stands adjourned pursuant to Standing Order 41-2B until Tuesday, 29th July 2025 at 2:30 p.m.